Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial. So let's talk about Hadoop. What is Hadoop? So Hadoop is a framework, and this is a framework. And then what it does? So it does analyze large data set. We often call that to be the big data. And how does it do it? Number one, we have distributed computing system. And number two, we have the cluster of computers. Okay, so in order to understand Hadoop, we need to focus on these three things. Number one is the distributed computing system. Number two, the cluster of computers. And number three is large data set. So now let's talk about the distributed computing system. What is that? Distributed computing system. Okay, sometimes we call that the distributed computing. Okay, in short, we call this to be distributed computing. And what is that? So this is a system with multiple components. Okay, so let's write it down. Multiple components, and these are located in different computers, okay, that communicate and coordinate actions in order to achieve a single objective. Okay, so the next thing is communicate each other to achieve a single objective. Okay, so again, if we summarize the distributed computing system, where we have the multiple components, and the multiple components reside in different computers, and the computers communicate with each other and they perform a single objective. And in this case, we are performing what? The analyzing of large data set, which is the big data. So now let's talk about the computer cluster. What is that? A computer cluster is a set of loosely or tightly connected computers. Okay, so that means we can say that this is connected computers. Okay, work together. So they worked together, and they work together in order to achieve a common objective. Okay, so let's say that we have a server 1 over here, which I'm writing as S1, and then we are going to have a, let's say, switch. Okay, and then we have few computers and C3. All right, so they are connected like this. So we can call this to be a cluster of computers. And the cluster of computers, we can see that we have a server, we have few nodes, or we have few computers, which we can call to be the nodes. Okay, and all of them communicate with each other to do what? To perform big data analysis. And the framework that is bringing all of these together is called the Hadoop. So now let's talk about the modules in Hadoop. So that means, again, we are doing some kind of task using a large number of computers, okay, within a cluster. And within this cluster, we are using the framework for Hadoop. So in that framework, we have few things. One is called the Hadoop Common. What is that? The common utilities that support the other Hadoop module. So this is just the common module, okay, shared by everyone and doing some specific tasks. And then one of the most important thing is called the Hadoop distributed file system, and in short we call the HDFS. So what is that? It is a distributed file system that provides high throughput access to application data applicable for data. Then we have something called Hadoop YARN. And YARN is also a framework, and the framework actually performs some kind of job scheduling and cluster resource management, okay? So this is the task of the Hadoop YARN. And then we have another important module of it is the Hadoop MapReduce, okay? So this is again a YARN-based system and used for parallel processing of large data set. So now these are the components again of Hadoop, and we'll be discussing each of those in the next tutorial. Thank you.